What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Nerd Word, where the word is nerd.
It could use some work.
Or our word nerd is nerd word. What?
Welcome to Nerd Word, where the word is not bird, but the word is instead nerd.
It is nerd.
Word.
Word.
Anyways,
Welcome to Nerd Word.
welcome to Nerd Word. I'm HaplessLuckett.
I am the Fireball.
And I am Guymanbrodawg.
And today, first off, you want to hit him with the announcement?
Yes.
Spoiler warning ahead. If you are not caught up on the latest episodes up to episode 5 of Hawkeye and No Way Home, Spider-Man movie, then leave. Get out of here. Be gone
We
before
don't
we
need you
taint your
getting
virgin
mad.
ears
Wait,
with
hold
all
on.
this knowledge.
We will be talking about off-topic stuff first, obviously.
Yes,
We're going to
yes.
get into that stuff first, but when it's time, I would not put that there.
I wouldn't
I
do
would not put that there.
Yeah,
All right, okay, dude, just there. You know what? I forgot my water. So, basically, we'll let you know. We'll give you a heads up when we actually start talking about about spoiler stuff. But before that, what's going on, everybody? How are you feeling, Fireball?
I'm feeling great. I've had a great couple of days. I got to see the new Spider-Man movie. Can't wait to talk about that. Excited for the Hawkeye stuff. Lots of good stuff going on in life and in the MCU, and lots to do, lots to talk about. Let's get into it, man.
Julian,
You know,
how do you feel? Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
feeling really good. Right now is a really good time to be alive if you're
Yeah.
a Spider-Man fan.
Absolutely.
Not even Spider-Man No Way Home, which we'll obviously get into. Great movie. We also got Spider-Man in the Avengers game. We also
Yeah.
got the announcement of Spider-Man 2, which could potentially be co-op with Miles Morales. That would be sick.
That would be.
Spider-Man is booming right now, and
Yes.
it's so good to see.
And I don't only think it's just Spider-Man fans. I think it's just Marvel or MCU fans in general because, we have Eternals. Not even MCU, just Marvel in general. We got Eternals getting ready to come out on Disney+. Then we've
Nice.
got Morbius that comes out in January.
Morbius is
Morbius
gonna be good.
looks awesome.
The trailer looked amazing.
And then I think soon we're going to have Miss Marvel,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which we can also get into later, maybe into another podcast. And there's just a lot of good content coming out with everything. And I think it is a good time to be a nerd right now. But before we get into our nerdgasms, let's talk about Spider-Man. Not the movie, not No Way Home, but just Spider-Man in general. Take whatever it is that you thought about Spider-Man No Way Home, take that out of the equation right now.
Okay.
Before No Way Home, who is your favorite Spider-Man? Fireball, go.
Favorite Spider-Man?
Favorite Spider-Man, not favorite Spider-Man movie, but
Okay.
favorite portrayal, live action of Spider-Man.
Okay, so mine's a slightly more detailed answer. Excuse
Of
me,
course, go
detailed
ahead.
answer on that. If you want the truth, I think, personally, our boy Tobey Maguire was the best Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man, and he also, in Amazing Spider-Man 2, had the best looking Spider-Man suit.
Yeah.
But then Tom
far.
Holland embodies the characters on both ends, Spider-Man and Peter Parker, brilliantly. His acting portrays the character exactly as it was meant to be. So I have a love for each of them for their own active abilities within the movies. So I have a love for each.
Tom Holland. Even before this movie, like, I knew when he came in Civil War and stole Cap's shield, like, this is my Spider-Man. That suit, the way he carries himself, the look, and even the age of the character, the fact that he's still in high school and we got to see all the early stuff. I'm giving it to Tom Holland. Plus, with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, we didn't get the rest of the Marvel Universe with
Also
them.
true.
They didn't have the Avengers.
This is true.
Like, I just love seeing Spider-Man grow with the rest of this iconic franchise.
Yeah.
And going back to what Fireball said, I have to agree with you. Each one of them had a very unique portrayal to a specific part of the character. Like, Tobey Maguire had... I even as far as... between him and Tom, he had, like, I felt him the most as far as, like, the Peter Parker character. Not so much as the Spider-Man, as much as I did with Andrew. Because Andrew's Spider-Man was quippy.
Yeah,
he talked all the time. He was funny. He was fun to listen to. But again, Tom was everything.
Everybody's
Like,
both.
he's
He brings it
nerdy. He's
all.
awkward when he talks to people. He's awkward when he talks to women. And as Spider-Man, motherfucker doesn't shut up. He does not shut up, which is one of his things. Is he does not shut up. Now going into Hawkeye, episode
Oh,
5.
it's time to talk about Hawkeye. I'm
Episode
excited for
5.
this. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna.
Shouldn't we give him a chance to...
Yes, this is another one of those spoiler warning territories. If you have not caught up to episode 5 of Hawkeye, go ahead and leave. You are suspended.
Yes. Yes. Spoiler
3,
alert.
2, 1.
You have
You've
been
been
warned.
warned. Hey, that could be our thing.
I
Three,
like
when we
that.
do spoilers, 3,
I like
2,
that.
1. You have been warned. Let's try it again.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
You
You've
have
been
been warned. We'll get.
We'll get it.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Tell us what you think. Like, leave us a little comment. Let us know if you like that. If it's fun, whatever.
Yeah,
All
let
right,
us
so,
know.
Spoilers ahead.
Spoiler alert has been given. Maybe I should have put that in the comments.
Quite possibly. And then next time, I believe you should.
Yeah. I think I'll do that in a minute.
I would love to give my opinion of Hawkeye as a whole so far
Yeah.
before we start talking about the specifics of episode 5.
We could wait till the big spoiler, the big
Yeah.
secret at the end. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
For me, I think Hawkeye is doing bigger things for the future of the MCU than for Hawkeye himself
Yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
herself.
Absolutely.
The things that Hawkeye is setting up right now, well, yeah, I mean, we've already announced the spoilers and stuff.
Yeah, you guys
Kingpin.
keep talking. I'm gonna
Kingpin is...
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Kingpin was revealed. Okay, he's gonna be in it. And if you haven't seen No Way Home, like I said, leave. Matt Murdock was in No Way Home, which means now we have an established Daredevil in the MCU. We have a really good Spider-Man to go back to, and Kingpin is now in it. So I'm thinking at some point we are probably gonna get a Spider-Man Daredevil team up against Kingpin, and
Oh my
that
God.
just geeks me out.
That would be epic.
They have to. They have to because they have already shown their connection. But the only difference is now, since again spoilers, as we said, the way that it ended and everybody forgot, there's no connection with them anymore. They have no idea. I mean, well, Spider-Man knows that this guy exists, so he'd have to go back to him at some point. But Matt Murdock has no idea who he is anymore. Because everyone forgot.
But
Yeah.
But that does not take away
I
the
don't think that would
possibility.
stop anything.
You're
Because
right.
I feel like they would most likely both be trying to pursue him at once and like run into each other or something, and you know it could be like some sort of situation like that where they actually re-meet.
I feel like they can
Or-
because
I'm sorry. I apologize. I was going to say, or they could just write it in to where the fact that he's blinded, the spell didn't affect him or something. And
you
I
know,
don't think it
something
works
that
like
simple.
that.
No.
I
It
don't
would be
think-
simple
It's
writing.
all about memory, and
Yeah, maybe.
his brain is normal. Like,
this is true. But I could see some MCU
yeah, they
BS
could
like
twist
that.
somehow and say because of his sonar ability it didn't affect it. Something they could easily write it in.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
I don't see it happening, but But if it did happen, I wouldn't be surprised in any way, shape, or form. But I do see that they do have a common enemy as far as Kingpin goes. So that would be more of a realistic reasoning between them, especially if we get another Daredevil show. Because I think they're doing season 4,
that'd be cool.
but I don't know if it's season 4. It may be season 1A. Because it's a completely different.
Yeah,
maybe.
could be different.
I'm really excited for where this could go. If they're all after Kingpin, and by all I mean Hawkeye, Daredevil, and Spider-Man, I feel like at some point maybe Hawkeye, the guy Hawkeye, is gonna die, and Kate Bishop is probably gonna go after Kingpin. And if she somehow meets up with Spider-Man, like we're getting so close to the Young Avengers with Ms.
Yeah.
Marvel right around the corner and all
This is
that.
true.
I'm so excited to see all of these stories like going into different. What's the word?
It's a whole new phase.
It's
It is.
yeah, it's insane. Marvel is just completely taken over.
Not to mention Moon Knight and Morbius and all the other characters
Yeah,
that they can find ways to tie into these
This
stories.
is true. This is very
It's
true.
going to be amazing. It's going to be another set of Marvel movies, just like the first 40.
Yeah.
You know, however many they had.
They had
It's going to be another set of those, but all new characters and just as intricate storylines and detailed plots. I'm excited.
I'm excited, but I still don't think anything could get me as excited as Endgame and No Way Home. I think
it's going to be hard to top No Way
it
Home.
really
is.
It really is, which is why. But I'm still, of course, going to see everything.
Oh, of course.
Because, you know, not all of them are going to be the Eternals. So
right. You still have yet to see that, by the way.
I don't.
Yeah, I haven't seen Eternals.
I'm waiting until Disney Plus. I don't plan on caring if. I mean, I already saw the ending. So I've already been spoiled of who that was. Did you see the ending?
Let's not.
No, I didn't. I didn't, but we don't need to spoil that. We
Okay.
haven't even really seen it. Let's not spoil something we haven't seen.
This is true. This is true. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So what happened?
But there's what was it? There was one that I'm actually not even excited about, and I can't remember what it was.
She-Hulk?
No, I'm actually excited
Yeah,
for that. I want
She-Hulk's
to see
gonna be
She-Hulk.
cool.
That's going to be cool. It was one of them. The Echo series.
Echo.
What is that?
Echo's getting her own show, and
Nuh-uh.
yeah, and I don't care for it. Probably won't even watch it, honestly.
I mean,
She's
I
not
will,
a character that I care about at all.
Yeah.
but it's MCU, so it's probably going to tie into other stories that you need that piece for.
I'm not a big fan of subtitles, and that's about all it would be. If your lead character can't talk, you're reading the show. I might as well just get the book.
But you watch movies with the subtitles on anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't want to
all those
fucking hear it.
Kung Fu movies.
I
don't
don't want
wanna-
kung fu movies, but I don't want my whole Marvel movie in subtitles.
Well, but still, you have to at least give it a chance before you say it's stupid. It's
Yeah.
it's a
I
Marvel
didn't say
movie.
it was stupid. I'm just not interested in the
True.
character.
This is very true. But in that's defense, were you interested in the Guardians of the Galaxy when it came out?
Yes.
Oh, you were? Well, fuck
Yes.
you.
I didn't follow them in the comics, but just seeing the trailers for those
Yeah.
made me really want to see them.
Okay.
They
Fair enough.
turned out to be two of the best Marvel movies made, in my opinion.
I agree with the half of that statement. The sequel was.
I thought they were great.
I thought the sequel was funnier, but as far as the movie goes, it was definitely subpar compared to the second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Guardians
yeah.
2 was awesome.
I can agree. One was definitely better than the other, but personally, I think they were both great. But can we talk for a moment about some of the things that Spider-Man set up for the future? This would be
Okay, so
Do we want to talk about the movie first, or do we just want to dive into the future setups?
well, we were talking
We
about
should
what
talk about
Hawkeye
the
already
movie.
offered for opening up, and I figured that was a good segue
Okay.
into talking about what Spider-Man is opening up.
I
And then we
agree.
can speak about the movie as
Yeah.
a whole. But this is your call.
yeah, so
Spoilers again.
Spoilers coming.
spoilers.
3, 2, 1. You've been warned.
So I lost my train of thought for a second. I want to talk about Matt Murdock for a second in
Yes.
this movie. Like, we didn't get too much of him to where we don't want more in the future, but we got just enough to where we're like, oh yeah, that's Daredevil, and once we see him suited up, it's going down.
Mhm.
Like when that freaking brick came through the
Oh,
window,
that was so dope.
and
Oh,
he
yeah.
caught it, and he was like, yeah, I'm a really good lawyer. I'm like, yeah, you are. Yes,
But
you are, dude.
And what's so good about that, it's very, very subtle. I don't know if you noticed. Because I definitely
You
noticed.
pay attention to stuff like that.
Spider-Man's hand was right there.
Yeah, he
like
was the
they
captain.
were both ready.
He
It's
was
just like
about
it
to
just
catch
shows that how much quicker Daredevil actually is.
His sense is as strong as a Spidey sense,
Yeah.
basically.
So imagine the team up when that happens.
Woo! I'm waiting
yeah.
for the one simple phrase, just the one simple phrase from Matt Murdock or Daredevil when speaking to Spider-Man. Stop talking.
So I want to talk about the end of the movie and what Spider-Man truly set us up for.
Yes.
We are officially now moving into Spider-Man territory that we are familiar with, but I think is going to have a different spin. So at the end of the movie, we see Spider-Man. He's broke.
Big spoiler.
Big spoiler again.
Big spoiler.
You've been warned.
You've been warned. He's broke. He's living in his own apartment. No one knows who he is, and he makes his homemade suit, his own suit,
which looked great, by the way.
Oh my God, fantastic!
That is pretty much where we see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man at the beginning of the first movie.
Yeah,
That's pretty much where we see Andrew Garfield at the beginning of his movie. We've seen much more of this Spider-Man than we have of the other two combined, and I think the movie knew that too, and that's why Tom Holland was Spider-Man 1, and I think that's also why we had the integrated suit, so he could stand out, so he could still shine in his own movie.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, the first 3 Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland are the prequels to the actual Spider-Man story, and it is, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, that he's signed on for 6 more movies.
Oh yeah,
he's at least 3 of those will be another trilogy. We're going to get an actual Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man story.
And if you haven't heard already, 4 is already in development.
Yes.
I think Kevin Feige confirmed that either late last night or earlier today. But it's been confirmed Spider-Man 4 is coming. So that deserves couple of those. I don't know if you can even hear those. Oh, it's not set up. Whatever.
and I also want to touch on the really big moments that helped shape Tom Holland's Spider-Man into the Spider-Man that we all want.
Yeah.
Big things happened in this movie. Obviously, spoiler warning. Aunt May, she's dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is the one of the biggest turning points. We needed that. We sort of got the Uncle Ben sort of story with Tom Holland with Iron Man when he died, but it wasn't the same. It didn't have the same push that Peter Parker needs to now be the Spider-Man we all know.
Yeah.
And I also really like how they did that too. At first when I was watching it and I seen Green Goblin hit her with his glider, I'm like, dude, I would have died if that hit me. Why is she able to get up and keep walking? But then she fell back down. Apparently she got pierced. I loved that they played on the adrenaline of things and how she had to get up and let Spider-Man know that they are doing good.
Yep.
Yeah, that actually
almost made me cry.
I after watching the movie, I came home and watched a bunch of theater reactions. I watched all the highlighted parts and just to hear the crowd cheer. And seeing that part again does bring a tear to mind because that is, in a way, our true Uncle Ben moment without it being Uncle Ben. It's still a Parker, but it's not Ben Parker. But you still get the whole, with great power. What was the actual saying? With great power, there must be great...
With great power must also come great responsibility.
Which is the actual comic accurate saying. And just the way that they brought that in, and again, the whole adrenaline thing is what really got me, because I saw the same thing, and it was just like, oh, wow, how she got up, okay, all right. She was still moving forward. She was still telling you did not do anything wrong. You're doing the right thing. And it's just like, yeah, man. Oh no.
She actually did get pierced by that? Damn.
I will say, as far as performances go, Tom's was great. Tom's was good. It was great. But Andrew's was better.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Andrew Garfield shined.
He almost made me cry.
No, I'm talking about his performance when he lost Gwen. When he lost Gwen, his performance was better than Tom's. That's
very
believable.
Oh yeah.
I'm not to take anything away from my boy Tom. He's a good actor.
Still very great.
It was still believable, but I just felt like his performance was just a little bit better.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know how you can go from no sir please I don't want to go to that. Again, I don't want to downplay it, but that Infinity War scene just but yeah.
Back to the big things in this movie that really shaped Peter into what we want him to be. The part at the end, we didn't know we needed it. When Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man steps in and catches the glider.
Yep.
That not only made it to where Tom Holland's Peter is probably not going to be anything like Tobey Maguire's because they played that out differently, but it also, I think it's going to keep Spider-Man pulling his punches. It's going to keep him really grounded, and he's going to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that we all want.
Yeah, because Andrew said in the movie, he said that he stopped pulling his punches.
Yeah.
He got to a point where he just let it go. And that's not good for a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Especially someone that could punch your head off.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively. Because, him pulling his punches would definitely save your life. But
we never did get into talking about what else this movie set up for the future. We didn't talk about that end credit scene.
Oh no!
Let's wait on the end credit scene. Let's talk about
But
that
that also
all in
set up
itself.
future
I think I
events.
still want to talk about Spider-Man for now.
Okay.
Obviously, Spider-Man with the whole multiverse thing going on and everybody like about to break through. I think that they closed it off in the movie, but I don't think it's over with.
Oh yeah,
No.
I
definitely
think
not.
that's
We're still
a
getting the
big part of
multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it did definitely still set up that movie. The post-credit scene was basically a trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which we will get into in just a little.
Well, see, my only thing about that, of what you said, how it's kind of fixed, as far as Spider-Man's multiversal crisis,
That's close
multiversal crisis, that is over. Because the only people that were coming over were people who knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Outside of that, nobody else came over.
Right.
The space-time continuum, whatever, the multiverse was already fucked before then. Like, it was already a mess. And that was just making things worse.
Because of Sylvie.
Because of fucking Sylvie. Because of that bitch. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Loki, that's your fault.
That's your fault.
That's your fault. So, yeah, I feel like that is a big thing.
Spider-Man was freaking crazy in this movie. Like, he was so grounded because of, like, the other characters that we got. Like, MJ. Like you were saying last night, you weren't, like, a big fan of her before this movie.
I wasn't.
But I think because because she was in this movie and because Ned was in this movie, it kept us grounded in that Peter's reality. So when the other Peters came over, yes, they were there, but we weren't focused on them. We were still focused on our Peter Parker the whole time, and I think it's genius how they did that. Like, Ned and MJ helped more in this movie than they did in the other two movies combined.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Ned was clutch.
Well, this is the first time. Actually, no, not. Yeah, Ned has been clutch in in all three movies.
Yeah, he has.
This is the only time that MJ actually helped, except for the end of Far From Home, when she found out, and that was 3/4 of the way through the movie. So that you can't really count that as her trying to.
Ned's the guy in the chair. He's got the most.
Yeah.
time.
But I can't recall a time in either of the other two movies when Ned brought two other Spider-Men to help using
That's
magic.
pretty epic.
Yeah, that is.
Come on.
Those reveals, man.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm telling you now, every single time there was a reveal in that movie, and there were a lot of them, not just the Spideys, but all the villains and Matt Murdock and blah, 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 everything. I left a stain on the seat in that theater every single time. I never clapped. When everyone else was clapping, I wasn't clapping. I was going, oh. That's what was going on with me. So that's how that went down.
To go back to what you were saying, as far as what it sets up for future Spider-Man, I feel like Spider-Man... there's a connection to what I feel like is going to come later on, but we'll get to that with the end credit scene that we. But also, we're going to set up with a much more mature Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
because he's no longer in school.
Right.
He was 17, so now he's going to, like, the next time we see him, he'll probably be 18 or 19.
Right.
Yeah.
Which means he's going to be going through some other things. So now there's absolutely no excuse. He's gone to space. He's beaten literally every villain that's come to him. He's literally putting paws on Thanos. He's put paws on Thanos. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, let's never forget that.
And now also with what happened in this movie, I'm going to have to get close for this.
Yeah, get close to the mic.
He beat Doctor Strange.
He did.
Yeah.
So there
Okay,
is
I
no
gotta talk about that,
excuse for Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6 or whatever he is. Right now, he is the friendly neighborhood veteran Spider-Man that he should be. We saw his growth pattern. We saw him go through loss repeatedly. Like this, I actually think this is the first time since Iron Man that he's like truly lost, and he's lost not just a mentor, he's lost literally
Everyone.
everyone and everything. Happy is gone.
It's a new life.
It is a completely new life, and he has no ties, which can be a great thing, and can also be very, very scary.
Could be,
because if there's no Spider-Man, if Spider-Man has nothing other except for the people, he might get a little reckless at some point.
Maybe
the Avengers don't even know who he is. Right?
None of them. He can't go to them. He can't go to Captain America for help.
alone.
He is solely
Nick Fury no longer knows he is Spider-Man.
Which is why...
Maybe not.
No.
Because the spell is very specific. And the thing that changed it was whatever Peter said before it actually went up and the rings fell. But Doctor Strange... not Doctor Strange. Peter said, make sure that everyone in the world who knows that I was Peter or Spider-Man, he's off-world. Nick Fury's not even on the planet, so it doesn't apply to him.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I think.
From other universes.
Yeah, they came from other universes. So that's also where I can't... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
So that would be I see where you're going. I see where your head's going.
I mean, even though it was another universe, it was still on that world. It was still Earth. It was still the planet.
That's true.
We'll have to see because
we'll see what they do with that.
We'll have to see. But either way, even if Nick Fury does forget, and Spider-Man goes back to being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the veteran that he is, putting hands on everybody, putting everybody in jail, you don't think that he's going to find him again?
Yeah, actually.
He probably will.
Yeah.
He probably will.
It's fucking Nick Fury.
It's Nick Fury. It's what he does.
Yeah.
So, either way, there could still always be a connection there.
Yeah.
Can we mention for a second that Spider-Man single-handedly basically managed to capture and imprison everyone in, we'll say, quote-unquote, the Sinister Six?
And captured Doctor Strange.
Captured Doctor Strange
twice. I mean, even though he clearly walked out the first time,
right?
He still did it. He still did it.
And Peter Parker.
No, 3 times.
3
times when he astral projected his body out,
yeah,
and he swam back to his body. He couldn't get the cube because of his spider sense.
Yeah, that's true. He's like
3 times.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so that's 3
Peter
times.
Parker got the hat trick on Doctor Strange. We can we can no longer sleep on my boy.
Oh yeah.
We can no longer sleep on quote unquote Iron Boy Jr. No, we can't sleep on him at all.
But I really did like those Doctor Strange parts. Like he wasn't featured prominently. He obviously wasn't the main character. It was very much still a Spider-Man movie. But the Doctor Strange parts that we did get were so Doctor Strange that it made me so very happy. Like
it was great.
He was.
When they entered the mirror dimension. That was super sick. All of the magic involved, like when Ned is using the sling ring, even though Doctor Strange isn't there, his mark is still left on the movie.
Yeah.
Like everything that went down in this movie, not only is it because of Doctor Strange, but it wouldn't have been possible without him.
Fair enough.
This is very true.
He made the movie. It couldn't have been made without Doc. He had to be there. He was important.
This was very much a Steve Ditko movie.
And what's so funny is you can see the level of help that he gets throughout his saga. You get help from Iron Man. Mm-hmm. Next, you get help from Nick Fury. Mm-hmm. And then you get help from the most dynamic person in the galaxy. And then now you're back to square one.
Yeah.
Literally stripped from everything. There's no connection. There's no gadgets. There's no backup. There's no knowledge of anything that he's ever done. From the point that he walks out there, everyone's just going to be like, "Who is that?" Or no, it's just, they forget Peter Parker. They still know Spider-Man.
Yeah, they know who Spider-Man
because
is. Jonah Jameson was still talking about it.
Yeah. So, but everything is stripped. It is a clean slate.
That's genius if you think about it, because if he is signed on for 6 more movies, to wipe his slate completely clean, now they've got an open page to write a brand new story of however they want.
And so many pre-existing villains that they could slip in, villains that we need to see return, like the Vulture and Mysterio. Mm-hmm. Like, they have it all set up right now.
Not to mention we got Kingpin now as a villain, so that could be part of it.
That could be.
The whole trilogy could be him going after Kingpin. That would be epic if they wrote that story out.
Oh my god. But can we, because I want to get into what you were talking about, the end credit. I do, because it also talks about something that sets up more future stuff. So, again, spoilers. If you haven't seen the end credits, if you're one of those people I'm going to say this, and I apologize if I offend anyone, but at the same time, I'm not sorry. If you're one of those people, after 20-something movies, you still leave the theater after the credits start, shame on you.
Shame.
Shame on you. You should know better after all the movies and all the shows. You should know better.
And those end credit scenes are important to the...
They are
very important.
This one especially.
Yes.
We got pretty
huge.
much a
Mention
trailer for Doctor
No, not that
Strange.
one.
No, we'll get into that one next.
That one,
Yeah,
that
the
one
first
too.
end
Okay.
credit
Yeah,
scene.
the first end credit scene. The first end credit scene, yes.
We get Eddie Brock, once again. He's in a bar in Mexico talking about like the snap and Thanos and all the existing Avengers from when he transferred over at the end of Let There Be Carnage. After the spell is like done and everyone gets sent home, no one knows who Peter is anymore. He also gets sent home. But on the bar is a little piece of symbiote that got left behind from Eddie Brock in our universe.
In Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe, that is confirmation that we do have Venom coming.
So
And it would be a comic accurate way of introducing our Venom, because the symbiote will not latch on to Eddie Brock.
No.
He's gonna
looking
add
for
on.
Spider-Man.
He's looking for Spider-Man. So the first person he's gonna he'll probably travel through different bodies like he did in Venom. We'll go
To
through
get
him
to
to
Spider-Man,
get to
of
Spider-Man. But he is going to end up going to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man, he's already filled with rage.
Oh, yeah.
So that actually might be what the Spider-Man 4 could be. He's already feeling that rage because losing everybody, damn near killing. Damn near, he could have killed. He would have killed Green Goblin if
he was going to.
Yeah, if Tom wasn't, if Toby wasn't there, Green Goblin was gone. So he's still got that anger and that hate inside of him, especially with this with the symbiote now here, latching onto him. Boy, we may get that black symbiote.
And
Spider-Man
here's the cool
suit.
thing about that. Remember the suit from the end, the handmade one? We're going to see that in a black form as well. I'm geeked. I'm big on suits. Suits are everything to me because I'm an artist. I love that.
After the symbiote detaches itself from Peter, if they go that route, well, they're going to go that route. We get to see a Venom with the freaking spider logo on his chest, a comic accurate. And what I hope they do is, since it is the actual same symbiote that came off of that Eddie Brock from the Sonyverse, if it's the same exact Venom, just with that logo, because that Venom is already perfect, minus that part, minus the build-up and story.
Yeah,
and if they're fixing everything.
And on top of that, it is now canon. Like what happened in all the other movies is now canon, and it's been confirmed in Venom 2 that there is a hive mind. There is a Nexus hive mind that connects that has all the knowledge of all the universes.
What was it, 800,000 light years or something like that?
Something
worth
like
of
that.
Information?
Yeah.
Venom has a multiversal hive mind, right?
Yes.
And that's why he carried over. He's connected to the same Venom from probably Spider-Man 3 that knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man. And that's why he was there.
It does make perfect sense.
And he had already been on Spider-Man at that point. So he knows like the strength that would come with it and like all that comes with being attached to Spider-Man, and that's why he wanted Spider-Man when he saw him on the TV.
That's exactly probably why. He saw him on the TV and he instantly thought the other Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. But here's my question. If everybody went back, how come he didn't go back?
Wait, who
Venom?
Yeah. Well, he did with Eddie, but he got a small piece of it.
Yeah, but how did that piece get left behind?
He was pounded on the table. It would probably...
But I'm just saying, like, everybody who knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man was transferred back. A symbiote is a sentient being. But
if you leave a little piece of it behind and 99% of it is going to go back, that little 1% isn't going to go back to its original owner. It's going to stay.
But it should.
Plus, I feel like it'd really just be like you going back. Like if Green Goblin's glider was all the way over there, I think that would have probably stayed.
Yeah, or if, like, say I was going to go back and I took a piss just before, that piss ain't going to go back with me. That was part of me. Yeah. But it's going to stay.
Good point. Good point. Plus, if I'm there and I get transferred over, because I know Peter Parker's Spider-Man, so if I, like, chop my finger off and run, Is my finger gonna go with me and just like fall on the floor when I get wherever I'm going?
Good point. This is a very valid point.
That's what I think.
Right? Yeah, you have good points. A lot of yous.
But Multiverse of Madness, what we were about
let's
to talk
get into
about.
that because that was
So,
the second end credit scene we
Yes.
got. Was actually a trailer for that.
we saw a new character. We saw Miss America,
Yep.
America Chavez. She has interdimensional travel abilities. She's basically Superman, but like with more abilities. She's super strong, super fast. She can fly. She's the shit. So we got her in the trailer. We also have the monster, the sea creature with all the tentacles.
the
What
thing
was
with
it?
the
Like
knife.
Galanor or something like that. I forget his name. It's like Galandor or Galen.
Go down.
Gyarados.
Yeah.
Go down.
I think it was Gyarados. That is a Namor villain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Namor was already confirmed.
For
I think.
Multiverse of Madness?
Not Multiverse of Madness. I think he was confirmed for Black Panther 2.
Still, if he's confirmed,
I think we could get him early.
He could be in
because
Multiverse of Madness.
I saw a scene in that trailer where Doctor Strange he was like walking away from this water behind him, and the water was moving in really weird ways.
Ooh.
So
I might have to see that trailer again.
Yeah.
I might have missed that.
That's got to be watched again.
So that could mean we get Namor in this movie.
Which would be about damn time since his Marvel Legend action figure's been on the shelves for 200 years. I'm sick of seeing it at Walgreens. Like, come on, give us Namor so somebody will buy that shit.
I mean, we know he's coming. He's already been teased. Like,
Hey, Who Day 1983, what is going on? Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
What's up, Houday?
Spoiler warning for you.
Spoiler warning.
Big spoilers
You
in
haven't
this
seen
cast.
Hawkeye, Spider-Man?
We are talking all things MCU right now.
Yes, yes.
But
I hope
lots
we
of
caught up.
spoilers, keep that in mind.
Yeah, so in the trailer, we see Wanda in this like weird field.
Yeah, like a
full
field
of
with
trees.
like white
Yeah.
cotton hanging off these trees.
I
and stuff.
think that is another one of those like
Yeah.
things that she did over Westview,
I do too.
and but that makes it so weird to me how Doctor Strange found her. How did he know where she was?
He's Doc. Yeah. How did he find Spider-Man?
touche. I forgot. That's how
Find
that
Wanda.
works. Never mind.
Boom.
Ignore me.
I could see that, like, Wanda. And then he pokes his head through. Hello there.
So, what do you think that the Multiverse of Madness story is going to be about? Because we
Holy
already
shit,
know
I
we
have
got
no
Strange
idea.
Supreme, and there is going to be sort of a Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange dynamic going on.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But what is the bigger point of that? Because I
Right.
don't think he's the main villain.
I couldn't gather it from that trailer.
I couldn't either. I don't think there's enough information to say who's the... Because it was a teaser. It wasn't really much of a trailer. It was more of a teaser because it wasn't really that long. It didn't give that much information. But what I do think is... I think that Doctor Strange is the actual What If Doctor Strange.
I think so, too. I was
Like
thinking the same thing.
Because they say the What Ifs are canon. The multiverse is broken. The
Yeah.
multiverse is broken.
This is a multiverse.
So it may not be animated only because they're probably just doing a different art style.
He looked just like him, though.
He looked just like
It
him.
was spot on.
So the and during What If it was performed by Bendy Dick Cumberbatch. So
I'm not.
He's gonna sue
I'm not
your
taking
ass for
away the
defamation.
fact. I'm not taking away the fact that definitely could be
I hope
Strange
it is.
Supreme. But this
it's
is
Nick. He says, "What's up?"
This
Nick,
is the
what's up, Nick?
multiverse, and in that trailer, I forget who was saying it. I think it might have been Wong or something. Was saying Doctor Strange is the threat.
Yeah.
That could mean many more Doctor Stranges.
Yeah.
And if they all have the ability to warp reality how they want themselves.
But
Like,
there's no way that they
that
would
would
take
be-
that in a direction that they just did with this Spider-Man movie and have like 4 Doctor Stranges fighting Strange Supreme.
Yeah, I don't think
It's-
that. I
They
don't think
just
that.
did it. They're
Yeah.
not going to do that again.
But
It'll be Doc versus Doc maybe, but
I wouldn't put it past them because if you remember in the end of Loki during that big conversation where whatever his name is, the guy who wasn't Mobius, yeah, thank you.
I hate brain farts.
Yeah, same here. But when Mobius was talking, "Will you kill me?" Lots of other ones worse are coming, so there's gonna be a lot. There's a lot of
Kang.
Yeah, and Kang. There's a lot of variations, but they all aren't him. So I could see it happening.
I definitely
What if Kang is the villain in that?
I think
Kang's the villain in Ant-Man Quantumania.
Sorry.
I think we need to go ahead and get used to that right now, seeing a bunch of different characters, like the same character from different universes, because we're going to see it a lot more.
Yeah, with the multiverse of madness, it's inevitable.
I'm fairly certain there's going to be more than just the 2 Doctor Stranges. There were more than one Spider-Man. There's going to be more than one Kang. Like, it's going to keep happening because of the multiverse. And honestly, I think I'm okay with it. I want to see it.
This might be the last time it happens.
Yeah, I don't see them overdoing it. They're not going to beat it to death. So this might be the last time, but this still would be epic. I have a gut feeling that in the multiverse of madness, we're going to see Loki and Sylvie. I feel like we will.
Probably.
I feel like I can attest. I can agree with that. I feel
It's
like
just a gut feeling. There's nothing to back that or confirm.
They're Nexus beings, and they're both sorcerers.
And Sylvie's the one responsible for this mess.
And what is Wanda? She's a Nexus being. She's a sorcerer. What is America Chavez?
Yeah, you're right. They're
She's
bringing in all the Nexus beings.
No,
I'm not sure she's
Loki is not a Nexus being. He can't be a Nexus being if there's various versions of him.
He's a god. That's different.
Yeah.
But still, he's a very magical being, which still makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, but right now, though, he and Sylvie exist outside of the timeline.
Right, but there are still multiple versions of them still floating around inside of timelines.
Right.
So you're telling me there's one Wanda?
One Wanda, yes.
And one Doctor Strange?
No, because he's not a Nexus being.
Right.
Doctor Strange is not a Nexus being. I know
Nexus
for like
the Watcher is a
Nexus being is just people who have inner or multiversal.
No, a Nexus being is one person throughout the entire timeline that stays consistent. Like the Phoenix, she's a Nexus being.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And of course, like the Watcher is a Nexus being. There is no other Watcher.
There are other Watchers.
I mean, they're different characters.
There's like a group of them, but they're still the same
individuals.
They're actually outside the multiverse, so I think they don't count because they watched the multiverse.
Why wouldn't they count?
What about like the Eternals?
No, I don't think they're Nexus.
There are
beings.
multiples of them.
I think there's some of actually, I think they're Nexus beings.
I think they are because they said they've been watching the universes for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Or whatever, so.
The worlds,
Or the
because when
worlds,
one world is because that bit is the Celestials,
which means they're multiversal, which means they're probably Nexus beings. But still,
Maybe.
we're straying off topic on that. But the point is,
So my buddy from CCFM, a tattoo guy, he did my tattoos. Oh yeah, he did his tattoos.
Oh, yo, what's up, man? All right. Yeah, it's been a while.
Welcome.
I'm glad you tuned in. Definitely welcome. Thank you.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah, big spoilers for anyone who's just now tuning in. We're going to keep reminding you. This whole episode is going to be a lot of spoilers about the future of MCU and what we just recently watched and saw.
Yes.
So, yeah, lots and lots of spoilers. If you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, or you haven't seen Hawkeye yet, or, whatever, just be aware.
Steer clear.
Unless you don't mind hearing spoilers. I know some people that don't care.
And speaking of spoilers, actually, I don't know if this is really a spoiler. It kind of is. Do you think that Tom is going to try to find MJ, or actually try to reconnect with MJ and Ned? Do you think he's going to try that?
I don't think he will.
I don't. I think that we could maybe get like our MCU Gwen Stacy, and he could move on from MJ. I think that's what the route they would go there, and I don't think Ned is. He could become Hobgoblin still, and without knowing that Peter is Spider-Man and not even really being friends with Peter, that would kind of.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing they did there. I can't really tell. I don't know if
they hinted at it.
I don't know if they're gonna go back to them or not.
They did kind of set that up in a way.
Yeah, they hinted at it in no way.
They did a big old foreshadowing.
Yeah.
With that, so I feel like if they made that happen, it'd
be plausible. And it would be right out of the comics. So.
And speaking also right out of comics. We still got Matt Gargan running around.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize in advance because I have no idea who that is.
That is Scorpion.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And J. Jonah Jameson is back in the game.
Yep.
And we're going back to square one with Spider-Man. So that means that he could end up, paying somebody off to be like, hey, take this guy, Matt Gargan, put him in this suit that I'm paying for, and make him hunt Spider-Man, and then there you go. We have a Scorpion story.
What if Kingpin comes in and pays all these villains to take out Spider-Man, and it happens to be the Sinister Six? And then we get Daredevil fighting them.
Maybe
too.
that could be why we didn't get Six in this movie, is because they want
They're
to
saving
actually
it for
do a legit Sinister Six and refer to them as that later on.
Yeah, because we only had 5. We were close.
And if he's got this many more movies, in each of these movies he could be getting his own like new villains, so that way by the time we do get a Sinister Six, it's all Tom Holland's villains.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Vulture, Scorpion.
You know who we still need? It's slightly off subject, but it just came to mind. We have not yet, in any of all, 8 of the Spider-Man movies we've gotten so far, never once have we ever seen or even heard of Kraven.
They have a movie.
We're going to be getting a Kraven,
Yeah,
and Aaron Taylor Johnson is playing.
Really?
Kick-ass,
Oh, okay, good. All right. We
But-
need a Kraven. It's been too long.
But that's a Sony Craven.
Oh.
But here's my also...
Well, you see what they're doing.
I see what's going on, though.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because they have all these villains. These Spider-Man, they're making these Spider-Man villains. They have Kraven. They've got Morbius. They've got Venom. They may be doing a different type of Sinister Six, but those aren't Tom Holland Spider-Man. So if they make those,
it almost seems like Sony and Disney are building these universes together. Like it seems like they're in cahoots. I think they're planning this. They're giving us different villains that we would want to see with this Spider-Man, so that way they could eventually do it and please all the fans.
Yeah, they're all about
both
the fan
while
service.
making money.
Speaking of fan service, going back to No Way Home and Spider-Man and the multiverse. We need to just figure out, what is up with Morbius, though? Because if we saw Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man on the wall.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is on the wall with the words murderer on it. Mm-hmm. It's clear Tobey Maguire's.
Right.
But yet we see Vulture. That's literally 2 different universes.
That's true.
How does that connect? There's no way that they're like what's her name? Like Ricardo said, you've got some splaining to do.
It could be possible that in the future, when we start getting these other movies, that this whole multiverse thing that we're about to get ties universes together permanently. Could be part of the fix.
Or ties certain elements from the movies together. Because that could be how... I don't think that's how they can introduce X-Men. I don't think they should introduce X-Men.
Could.
I think we're not really going to know until we see Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I think that's going to answer a lot of questions and raise
that
more.
might
will
bring everything together more so than Spider-Man did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we thought they did a lot in that, but
they did.
It's Marvel. They're always going bigger and bigger and bigger.
See, now... What makes it so weird is now the Sony Spider-Mans are canon. In a way that they are canon to this universe.
Which is groundbreaking, because it's never been done before where 2 companies came together to make everything canon as a team.
Yeah.
You've never seen that, ever.
This is true. 2 different... Because you had Sony and Columbia, and then you had just Marvel, who owns somehow... They somehow come in cahoots, and it's like, yeah, we'll just tie everything else together. It kind of makes me wonder, are they going to do that with the X-Men? Eventually down the line. I'm not saying right away.
Fantastic Four and shit like that. All of them.
No, they can keep those. They can keep those.
I'd like to see them done right.
I think they're gonna do those. Just introduce them into the MCU. I think
that would be
Still
great.
do that. I think
they need to.
They are. I think they're gonna bring the X-Men in.
We're gonna get
at some point
a whole new X-Men and a whole new Fantastic Four, ones that do those other movies justice.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're doing at the moment. They're fixing everything from the past that was off or wasn't the best received.
Building for the future, yeah.
So we're going to end up in this MCU getting everything that we would want.
What's going on, Legendary One?
Yo, Legendary, what's up?
Kenny?
Kenny?
That's Kenny. What's up, Kenny?
Oh, what's going on, Kenny?
Good old Kenny.
Spoilers.
Heavy spoilers
for the MCU and stuff, man. We're talking Spider-Man. We're talking Hawkeye. We're talking about the future of Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole.
Boy, the future of Marvel's.
The future's looking good. I was a little scared previously about what is this, Phase 4 now?
Yes, I think this is Phase 4.
I was a little scared of Phase 4 because I'm like, man, they've exhausted all the characters I grew up with and love, and the ones I know and I understand. They've burned them all up. What are they going to do? Am I going to be interested in Phase 4? But then as we're going through the end of Phase 3 and learning these characters, now I'm even more interested in Phase 4 than I have been so far.
Absolutely. I still feel like it's going to be hard to top the Infinity Saga. It's going to be really hard to top that. Because that's 22 movies in the making to come up with one climax. They all connect. Yeah. Now they should. Now I feel like I think they're doing like less movies than that.
Still fine with it.
Which is still fun.
They're probably working faster at it now.
Yeah. Because now they have the shows on Disney Plus because Secret Wars is a whole thing now.
Yep.
Which is amazing. He said he wants to see us guys when we miss him. He misses us. We miss you too, buddy.
Miss you too, buddy.
I think I really like that with this movie. Not only are they setting up the future of the MCU, but they're setting up the future of the Sonyverse too at the same time with Venom now going back and knowing all of like the Avengers and stuff. Venom takes place in San Francisco, California, on the opposite side of the country of New York. So this whole time in the Sonyverse, there could have been their own Avengers or their own like whoever up there. I think he's going to go back to his time and now go try to find these people that the bartender was talking about. And that could set up a whole new storyline for that Venom, which I hope still does exist separately. And if it has a multiversal hive mind, the Venom droplet that he left behind, those two are still going to be connected. Therefore, the universes are still connected, even though apart.
I mean, that's a big connection. That one little droplet connects that universe to literally all of them. 800,000 light years worth of universal knowledge. That's what he said. So that literally opens up every door in the multiverse for anything they want to do. It's crazy.
My brain hurts.
Through Venom.
Through fucking Venom.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Who'd have thunked?
Who would have thunk?
Who'd have thunked?
And 2 years ago, well, not 2 years ago. I don't know when the first Venom came in. When the first Venom? 2018?
2017.
2017?
I think it was
okay.
2017.
Who would have
Correct us if we're wrong.
Five so years ago, when we were talking hella shit about how the first Venom should have been attached to Spider-Man, blah, the symbiote, blah, blah. Who would have thought that now there's an actual opportunity that we can get that? It's like, yeah, we heard you guys. We're going to do it, but right now we're just going to do what the fuck we want. You're going to pay us for it, so shut up.
It was all just a bunch of build-up and ball tickling. And we're finally going to reach the climax.
That means two things.
Here's how they're operating. This climax isn't going to be our only climax.
Oh, God.
So they're going to keep tickling until we keep climaxing. Who knows how many times we'll get off with this.
And we're handcuffed to the bed. Wait, there's no bed. Hey, whoa.
You took it too far.
We'll look like Randy Marsh in that episode of South Park. Oh, it's a spooky ghost! If you don't know that episode,
excites.
If you don't know that episode, it's pretty vulgar. But yeah, this is very, very true. But I'm excited. I'm really excited about the direction that the MCU is going, the direction that Spider-Man is going,
especially,
and Hawkeye and the whole thing that's setting up, like with the Young Avengers and stuff. I'm excited for that part too.
Yes.
Hawkeye, by the way, if you haven't seen Hawkeye and we haven't spoiled it for you yet, watch the show.
It's
fantastic.
So good. It's so good.
It's really a good show.
It is.
It also sets up the future for Black Widow. Yelena's gonna be our Black Widow coming.
Yeah, we haven't even spoken about her yet.
Yeah, we should go back to Hawkeye and talk about her. Like, how do we?
We left a few things out there.
We did. So
I think we got a little bit excited about Spider-Man. We got really excited about
pretty
that.
Epic.
Yeah, it was extremely epic. So we'll backtrack a little bit to Hawkeye. Let's go back to Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So, not of course, because we went straight into the spoiler of that. That's what happened. Yeah. We went straight into the spoiler, and that segued
By the way,
everything.
Spoiler alert, Yelena is in Hawkeye.
Well, it's already too late for that. It's already too late. But, well, if they saw episode 4, then they already knew that anyway.
Yeah, true.
So, Yelena being in this. And not only that, now Echo knows that Hawkeye is the Ronin.
Yeah.
You know she ain't gonna keep him out. I mean, I don't really understand.
She can't really tell anyone about it.
Except that dude who she can sign with. And if he dies...
Yeah, there's no knowledge that's... Because he already said that no one else learned sign language for her.
Yeah, that's true.
So if he does die, then the completely knowledge of Ronin is lost. Well, actually, no, because I'm pretty sure she can find some... Yeah. I'm pretty sure she knows how to write.
Knows too, so, it's not a secret anymore.
Yeah.
It's just...
She can definitely write and text, so...
So, I think with Yelena, what's going to happen, since she was sent there to kill Hawkeye, I think it's going to be a similar scenario to what Hawkeye had to go through with her sister. He was sent to kill Natasha, but at the last moment when he was about to deal the final blow or whatever it was, he decided, no. I think Yelena's going to do that same thing, and we're going to get a Black Widow fueled by the same flames that fuel Hawkeye.
I would like that.
I think... I'm going to take your theory, and I'm going to twist it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think where you're heading in the right direction, but I feel like Kate Bishop is going to get in the way again.
She does have a tendency to do that.
Somehow Hawkeye will be dealing with Kingpin, and Yelena's going to be on the way to take care of Hawkeye, but again, Kate steps in the way, and it's that same moment where it's Hawkeye's getting ready to kill Black Widow, except it's reversed. Black Widow is getting ready to kill Hawkeye, and then they become best friends.
That's pretty much his theory as well. I would agree.
So you think she's about to kill Kate Bishop,
as opposed to
they become friends?
Yeah, as opposed to killing Clint.
I think
that would make sense too.
That okay. You kind of expanded my theory a little. I think it's still gonna be Yelena about to kill our Hawkeye, Hawkeye,
Clint,
and Kate is gonna be there. I feel like she might be like trying to talk Yelena out of it, like be like, look, this is not the road you want to go down, whatever. And if Yelena lets up because of Kate, we now have a Black Widow and Hawkeye friendship.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true.
Because it's already been it was kind of there in a small fraction when they had their dinner together.
Mac and cheese with sriracha.
Which was a great scene. I actually really liked that. I thought that was good.
It was good in its own way because the dialogue was very informational, but it was also very witty. Mm-hmm. You could see that there was kind of a connection between the two of them in a way. But then things got real dark real quick.
I just think it's like really cool because they're both like pretty much kids. Like Kate Bishop is attached to her childhood. She's attached to Hawkeye, what she went through in 2012. And Yelena, up until the Black Widow movie, didn't live her own life. So in terms of like school knowledge that you would get, social like experience, she has none of that. So mentally, she's a kid, but she's a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think she had... No, yeah, you're right. Because
she was taken when she was 5.
Right. And then she became freed in, what was it, 20... When did Civil War happen?
Before Infinity War.
It was after Civil War. The Civil War is when Black Widow went off and did her thing, which was, I think, 2015? The first time Spider-Man was introduced. It was 2015.
I can check her.
Yeah. Because... 2018 is where the first time we saw her talking with her friend, and then she got blipped.
Right.
So, it takes place in 2023.
So, Civil War came out in 2016.
Not when it came out, but when it took place in 2016?
It probably took place in 2016, because that was pre-blip.
Okay.
Everything post-blip takes place in the future now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. So in 2016, let's say like 2016, 2017 is when... so she had been freed for about a year.
Yeah.
And then she was gone for 5 years.
So she's
So
basically got the mind of like a 6-year-old. Because she was like, what, 5 when she was taken?
She was still educated.
Yeah, it's not like
just
she's
not by a normal
yes,
school
but not
system.
not in the way that normal people are.
Right,
so
but she's not a 5-year-old. She
doesn't have the mindset of it.
Right.
Okay,
she
maybe not that. I don't know everything that she was taught, but it was mostly like training and weapon training and martial arts and
Not
stuff
only
like
that, but she's an assassin, so she has to blend in. So to be able to blend in, you have to have excellent people skills, so that way you can read that. Oh no, she knows how to live. She ain't worried about social skills. That's how she became so connected with her and got such good information out of her. She's a widow. Mm-hmm. She's a widow. From true, she's a widow. So
the widows are smart and good enough to scare the crap out of Hawkeye when he knows one's been called.
Yeah.
True.
So there is no childhood mindset. She's been, she's a.
She
fucking
hasn't
widow.
been living her own life for very long though.
That's
and I think
different,
that
though.
now she's being who she wants to be.
Yeah.
And that's why she's throwing in humor, being quippy and stuff, because she's finally herself.
Yeah, in ways, because she's still being driven by what's her name? I keep forgetting her name.
Elaine from Seinfeld.
Yeah. What is her character?
Madam Hydra?
Is that who she is?
I think that's who
That's
she's
Madam
supposed
Hydra,
to be, yeah.
but I don't know her real name, like her.
No, I don't know. I was talking about her character name.
The one who made the U.S. agent suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Madam Hydra.
So her, and I feel like I completely lost my train of thought.
That's okay though,
that was
because
my
we
fault.
can steer it in a different direction. I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you guys think that Madam Hydra is trying to do? I mean, what is she putting
Assemble
together?
the Dark Avengers.
The Dark Avengers.
The
that's
Dark
what you think?
Avengers
Yeah.
or
Or
the
the
Thunderbolts,
Yeah.
Okay.
which means we might get Red Hawk.
Oh no, that ain't no might. We're getting Red Hulk.
Oh,
soon.
I would love to see Red Hulk.
I would like
think
to.
he could potentially be the villain in She-Hulk.
Possibly.
Ooh.
That would be a good villain to have. I could see that.
That's what I think, because whatever they're doing to turn Jennifer Walters into She-Hulk, the same process could be done to General Ross.
Because he's been trying to do that for years anyway, especially
Exactly.
with the Incredible Hulk when they created Abomination. I think he'll just be to the point like, because he's had a couple of double bypass surgeries. He's had a couple of heart attacks.
And if you notice in the trailer for She-Hulk, Bruce Banner's there.
Yeah.
Smart Hulk is.
Yeah.
He's probably going to find a way to turn her into She-Hulk, and General Ross is going to want that. And I think that's what's going to drive him towards them and them away or towards him to fight him.
And
That would make sense.
And I think from that point is somewhere in She-Hulk, we may lose Bruce Banner.
We might.
And I don't mean we lose Hulk. I mean we lose Bruce Banner.
Completely.
Oh, that would be sick.
We just have Hulk.
Oh, that would be really cool.
And then we get, because didn't they say or leak or rumor that we're supposed to be like a World Breaker Hulk movie or something like that?
That'd be dope.
Or a
Bring in
World War
She-Hulk,
Hulk.
guys,
the
all
planet
that.
in half?
Or World War Hulk or
World
something.
War
like-
Hulk.
That's what it was.
I did hear about that.
It was World War Hulk. So, World War Hulk, She-Hulk, Red Hulk.
We're definitely getting Red Hulk.
Abomination.
There's no way.
Abomination
Yeah,
is back.
They brought him back, so we know we're going to see Abomination again.
So we
But what was his deal in Shang-Chi? Like
I don't
was
get
friends
that.
He was
with
just
Wong?
underground fighting Wong, and they knew each other. That was weird.
they seemed like
they didn't
buddies.
answer any questions.
They didn't answer
didn't
any-
They
seem
kind of
like
seemed
buddies.
like buddies, and if that's the case, then I don't see Abomination coming back and being a problem of any sort.
Yeah, he would be a team.
he's
up, if
training.
anything.
He's training with he's training with Wong. At some point, maybe he turns his back on him. I don't know.
I mean, that's a classic.
He
villain
wanted
thing to
Hulk.
do.
Like most of the time, he wanted Hulk and he wanted Hulk's power. It's not like he was trying to kill everybody. He was trying to kill Hulk. The same way with Venom, and Spider-Man. So they see each other again. He's got that Goku mentality where it's like, oh, you strong. We gonna have to battle this now. So that may be the thing that sparks up Abomination when they see Hulk. When he sees Hulk again, can't talk.
To be honest, I could see it going this way. Like if General Ross is able to take whatever Bruce Banner's doing and do it to himself, Abomination could be wanting that too because his didn't go right. He's an abomination, and Red Hulk is like,
Yeah,
Hulk.
like
He's like, that
perfect
went
Hulk.
right. I want to do that now.
And he's
That
even
could be.
worse, yeah.
And
that would make sense.
Yeah, that could probably be the case. He could probably like grow like way bigger and more of an abomination and go back to his like
it could
rage.
mess his brain all up.
Yeah. And he can get more hands from Hulk.
And that, since we're on the topic of Marvel fixing everything, or we're on the topic, that would completely make up for that old Hulk movie, The Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk
that was good.
What are you talking about?
The Ang Lee one.
The Ang Lee one was
that one was bad.
That was
they
that
made
was
up for that with the Edward Norton one.
Yeah, the Edward Norton was gas.
Edward Norton was good.
That was so good.
I kind of wish we still would have got Edward Norton instead of Mark Ruffalo, which, by the way, to take nothing from him, he's been a great Bruce Banner.
Yes.
But I would have loved to have seen Edward Norton come over.
I do too. I think I would have. I think I like his interpretation a little bit better. I mean, it's hard to say after seeing Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner for so many years. It's kind of hard to see anybody else see him as him. But when you start off with Edward Norton, a fucking Oscar winner, Oscar nominee or whatever, he's a fantastic actor.
I don't know why they ever dropped him.
I think it was some money disputes or...
Yeah, it was a money thing. I'm pretty sure that's what I read.
But we need to go back. We need to take a step back before we leave. Why did you not like The Incredible Hulk?
Yeah, that's got to be talked about for a second because that was good.
It's not that I didn't really like it. It just didn't seem at the time like it fit in. You know, or not at the time, now. It doesn't seem like it fits in now. I mean, I know Abomination is back and everything, but it seems like it exists completely separately from our Hulk. It doesn't feel like my Hulk. Mark Ruffalo is Hulk to me. And I know that the story is connected because he was in the same place where the movie ended by the time Nat came and found him for the Avengers. But it still just like that scene in Avengers when Nat found him seemed like it was picking up at a different part, you know?
I don't know.
It just didn't seem like
I
it
hear where
tied
you're
in.
coming from.
I can see that. Yeah, I can totally agree that it doesn't feel like it fits in. But canonically it does. Mm-hmm. It actually it's the same one. But that's what made that movie so great is because it was on a different level. It was before Disney got a hold of it. It was just Universal Studios and how Paramount did Iron Man. So they had an opportunity to go a little bit darker. They were able to push the edge without the Disney restrictions. So we were able to see what Hulk actually should have been throughout the MCU. Because we admit that Hulk should have been the Hulk we always got.
It was a good movie, but I think it would have been better if it existed separately from the MCU.
I disagree. I feel like that should have been the Hulk we should have always had.
But it's not the one we got.
It's not.
And I think I'm more comfortable with the one that we ended up getting as opposed to that one.
I don't know.
I just grew accustomed to it.
Yeah.
Either way.
This Hulk fits into the MCU better than that Hulk does, in my opinion.
I mean, truthfully, I do agree with that. But I would have loved to see how the other Hulk fit into this MCU.
Yeah, I agree with that. I personally would like to see what kind of angles they would have gone if Disney hadn't yanked the chain and been like, we can only make it for family friendly. Like, just make these good comic book movies like The Incredible Hulk. Let go of all the restrictions. If it's rated R, it's rated R.
Yep.
If it's not, great. Because you'll please more of the fans, like more of the actual comic book accurate fans. But but then again, I can't freaking talk because they have eclipsed the $1 billion mark how many times? Yeah. I can't say anything, and plus I'm a huge fan of the MCU anyway.
But we are getting a lot of that now anyway. The fan service is amazing. Mm-hmm. They're giving us everything we want and exceeding our expectations.
Yeah.
We're going into it with a thought like, this is what I want to see. And they're like, all right, well, you can have that, and here, have some of this, too.
That's pretty much... I was talking to Zebro, and he said it's pretty much this entire Spider-Man movie was written in the comment section. Because it kind of was. Yeah. And everybody loves it. Even him, believe it or not, because he doesn't like MCU.
Yeah, but he gave it a good score.
He gave it a good score. The only reason he didn't give it a higher score was because everything happened in the trailers. Mm-hmm. You saw everything. Yeah. If they would have just shown Doc Ock and didn't show like Green Goblin and Electro, then it would have been a better. Still,
I do fully agree with that. I feel like there were so many good surprises in that movie that if they would have gave us minimal in the trailer, we all would have literally pooped our pants in the theater.
They would have needed corners for all the heart attacks.
I feel like they probably could have at least like teased Electro, like how they teased Green Goblin initially with just the bomb.
Yeah.
They should. I think that Doc Ock should have been in the trailer, and then someone from Andrew Garfield's like part of things.
Yeah, that could have worked too.
Maybe even like Lizard.
Well, the thing is, if you start, that's what spoiled everything in the trailer, because they showed all these villains from literally every Spider-Man movie we've gotten. So immediately everyone's like, "Oh, if we're getting the villains, we're getting the Spider-Man."
Yeah. This
and
is true.
It kind of ruined it. They should have not showed any of the villains, or just one, like you said, because there's got to be a villain, and left everyone else out and kept us in mystery. That would have been surprise after surprise. That whole movie would have been like,
Actually,
yeah.
I think it would have been cool if they really only showed Electro, because Andrew Garfield, according to the movie itself, is the weakest Spider-Man. He's the most Spider-Man. And if we got a tease to him without knowing that Tobey Maguire was going to be in it, once we actually saw the movie and seen Doc Ock, that's when things would have started like picking up, and then we finally get Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. It kind of held back some of the oomph because of some of the stuff in the trailer.
One more quick question before we get out. Based on how Spider-Man ended, after seeing all the different Spider-Man from the other universes, do you think that we will see Tom Holland variation of the other Spider-Man enemies? Do you think we'll see like a Norman Osborn? Do you think we'll see a Doc Octopus?
Yeah,
we might.
We might.
No, I think we will.
You think
I
we
think
will?
We will for sure. If not both of them, one of them, maybe even like our own Tom Holland Electro. But I don't think that those villains are completely done, but I think those actors are. I don't think we're going to get Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock.
Yeah, so if we do get them, it would have to be different actors, which would have to be Tom Holland's universe.
Or, I mean, it could also be a scenario like Into the Spider-Verse. Doc Ock in that wasn't Doc... well, it was Doc Ock, but it wasn't our Doc Ock.
It was Olivia Octavia, something like that.
I mean, if they change it up in a slight way like that, I feel like that would be convincing that it's our universe.
I feel like
version of that.
If they do that, then it have to be some type of comic book reference, because there's multiple different comic books and stuff like that. So if they pulled something like from Spider-Gwen, like her Dr. Octopus, I don't know who her Dr. Octopus is. If she even has one. If his name is Steven.
But the point that we get.
So
the principle,
as long as it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna take Joe Schmo over here, and all of a sudden he's the new Dr. Octopus just because he has 8 limbs. I
mean, I see what you mean.
There's still plenty of villains we have yet to see, though.
This is very true.
We haven't gotten a decent Rhino. We got one little bit of Rhino at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2 or whatever.
No, we saw.
We got a glimpse.
We got a little bit of Rhino.
We got a glimpse.
But we could still get a Rhino. We could still get a Kraven. We could still get Doppelganger. We could still get...
Chameleon.
We might, Chameleon. We might get Kingpin. I mean, there's so many that we could still add in. So I don't want to see them recycle enemies when we have that many more to still use.
This is true.
There are plenty.
There are plenty to choose from. As long as we stay away from stupid ones like Screwball.
Yeah.
Stay away from Screwball, which we've actually already had.
With the handlebar mustache?
No, Screwball is the chick from the Spider-Man. She's the internet sensation female.
Oh yeah. We've still never seen Black Cat.
We still haven't seen Black Cat.
Yeah, I feel like she'd be an anti-hero if anything.
Maybe, but we still never seen her.
She'd be a villain.
What if that's the love interest in the next 3 movies?
No,
I don't think
not possible. Really,
it is possible, but they never act. They have been together, but I don't think they have ever had like a serious relationship. They've kind of had like that. The Batman Poison Ivy type of relationship, where it's not like it's not like the Batman Catwoman,
right?
But it's there. They've knocked boots a couple times, but MJ, it was always MJ Gwen or Liz. Liz was the first one.
I think it's gonna be Gwen. I'm really convinced that he's gonna move on from MJ and go to Gwen because, and I think was it Homecoming where Stark Towers was Oscorp's being built.
Mm-hmm.
Which could mean that Gwen Stacy works there, and eventually he could get a job there, and we could get another Kirk Connors, but from this universe.
That does open up a lot of doors. You're right. That
And
happened.
another Norman Osborn.
Yeah, I mean, Oscorp.
And since
Harry.
Ned is no longer his best friend, he could meet Harry. Harry could become his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
He did meet him in college.
And he's no longer in high school. College would be the next step.
And they did say somebody bought that the Avengers Tower.
Ooh, man.
And they never said who bought it.
I mean, if Kingpin has been existing this whole time completely in the shadows, why wouldn't Norman Osborn?
It's true.
Well, Norman Osborn is a large company mogul. Kingpin's
Oscorp's being built right now.
Well, yeah, maybe. Oh, that's true. Yeah, he wouldn't be known until Oscorp became a thing. So, yeah, it's possible.
Because I could totally see a new Spider-Man movie where there's this big announcement: Oscorp, we're here to innovate the future, whatever. And suddenly you have Norman Osborn, who's the face of it all. Hello, I'm Norman Osborn. I'd like to meet you all, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Now,
Willem Dafoe's getting a little old, though.
I don't think it'll be Willem Dafoe. It'll be our universe is Norman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, what I think is, since he now can go to college, since no one knows who he is, he can live a kind of a life out. Iggy, stop. Away from Iggy. Whatever it is you're eating. Away from, all the camaraderie and all the, we know who you are and all the Avenger level threats. If he ever met Harry, do you think he'd have like a little red flag? Like, hi, I'm Harry Osborn. Do you think he'd get that whole...
because he already knows who Norman is.
My father is Norman.
Maybe not.
You can never name drop his last name. You just like, I'm Harry. You just leave it at that.
And then later he finds out that he's an Osborn.
Yeah. It would have to be an early thing in their friendship or whatever. They couldn't just pick up in the middle of them already knowing each other.
Yeah.
They would have to have introductions.
I mean, that could lead into Spider-Man being like, oh, you're an Osborn, Harry, right? Yeah, your dad, I gotta go look into him real quick. I didn't know he was in my universe. And then,
There's so many ways.
A lot that could happen.
So, like, if we could... And there's also two different ways that we can go with the Venom as well. We can never introduce Eddie Brock, and it would just be the Harry Osborn Venom.
Flash.
Or the Flash. No, we're not gonna. No.
I don't like the actor that's playing Flash.
I don't
enough
either.
to want to see a Venomized.
It's not that I don't like the actor.
I don't
like
that version of him.
the super Spidey fan penis Parker.
Yeah.
No.
He's too much of a dweeb to be a bully.
Honestly, yeah.
He's really too much of a dweeb.
He should have been the classic jock. Like, Flash in the Tobey Maguire movies was perfect. he was perfect.
Well,
that was Flash.
Yeah.
Big old meathead jock. Like, that's what you expect.
Yeah, the Andrew's Flash was alright too. I just don't like... Yeah, I liked him.
Oh, yeah, he was the blonde one, right?
Yeah, I liked him.
Wasn't that more accurate?
Yeah, it was actually more accurate. Flash was always blonde.
Yep.
And we actually saw that one, like, playing basketball and being a jock.
Yeah.
The other one, we only ever,
saw him be an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't a jock. He was just an asshole.
I kind of liked that Flash the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Well, we are running out of time for our first episode. Do you guys, Julian, or Guyman, any final thoughts?
Go see Spider-Man. Go see Spider-Man now. Even if you're not a Marvel fan, if you've never even heard of who? Go see it, okay? Go see the freaking movie, and when you get home, change your undies.
Fireball. Closing notes.
If you're not a fan of the MCU, you're way behind, but it's not too late to start. Go to Disney Plus, start watching all of them in chronological order, and by the end of all these movies, if you're not in love, go jump off a bridge. You don't belong on this planet. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Seriously, don't do that. I was joking. No, we would never recommend that. But it is the most amazing mess of movies that are all put together to bring together one of the biggest, most detailed, epic stories I have ever seen. Every movie individually is amazing, and then the shows to boot add so much to them. It is an entire universe that you can just get lost in. I highly recommend watching all of it. Get caught up. Get with it. It's amazing. I'm addicted. And I'm a DC guy. I like DC. I prefer Batman and Superman any day, but I cannot take away from what these Marvel movies and shows have done for the film community. Watch.
Watch, love
it's
it.
going down. It's
For
a good
real?
time to be a Marvel fan.
It's enthralling.
It is. And my closing notes, make sure that you tune in next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Same bat
We'll be
time.
here.
We will
same
have a
bat
Jacob.
channel.
And we will have our good friend Jake with us.
Yes, we will have a Jacob with us. We will. Jacob will be here. So, from us at NerdWord, we would like to say good night.
Good night.